Relax and let's talk about comics. All right, and I'll take it from here.
All right.
Welcome back, guys. What's going on? This is Coast to Coast Comics, and we're gonna have a amazing night tonight, guys. Amazing night because we're gonna have an amazing show, man. I can't even touch how amazing it is because you're gonna find out. You're going to find out how amazing it is. But before we get to that, I sent the invite out to Perry Comics. But I have to acknowledge the people in the chat, man. I have to acknowledge the people in the chat. As always, we have Van Rengen Vigilante. He was the first one in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, sir, because you don't want to miss this show. It's going to be amazing. Like I already told you many times. 1-2 Comic Talk. What's going on, guys? Z Collects. Hello, sir. Thank you for hanging out on Coast to Coast Comics. Jeffrey Comic Hand Hansen cannot make it today. He is busy. He went out to have a good time, probably a dinner or so, maybe a beer or two with his friends. And you know what? Jeffrey, I love you, brother. Have a good time. And let's keep it going. We got Mike Sanchez in the house. Thank you, brother, for hanging out right now. Comic Mag Musing in the house. What's up, man? C3 Comics in the house, man. Stay puff. Sean, the ruler of all 1983. He's in the house. He knows a thing or two about comics, about hip-hop music. You don't know his channel. Check him out. He is awesome. We have my brother now, part of the Comic Triple Threat. We do a show every Tuesday. And if John's in the house, we do the Full Horseman show. The ruler, Comic Jabroni's in the house, man. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. And we got, here he is, real Dr. Beckman in the house. You know who he is, man. If you don't, click his channel right now. You'd be surprised what you're going to find. And like I said, man, Steve Whiting in the house. What's up, Steve Whiting? Another Floridian in the house. All right, so I'm just gonna check everything out here. And my wife is texting me, but I want to make sure Perry knows that we're live, man. All right. So right now, guys, I want to say this is a very special occasion that we're having right now. We're hanging out with Steve from Capncomics and a legend. There's no words to say. Just a legend. Mr. Ray and Captain, how are you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for inviting us on the show.
Yeah, you should be here. You could shovel snow.
Yeah, my dad said he's shoveling snow over there in Philadelphia. He said 3 inches though. I was like, stop complaining.
We're like a foot.
Oh, that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty nice. But you know what? We're so happy to have you in the show. It's just I'm just honored to have someone of this gentleman right now in front of us that's been doing things for many years. And before we get to Ray, Mr. Capncomics, how you got to know Ray before we do anything?
He put a ad in the newspapers just saying selling comic books, and being a everyday collector, gave him a call, and everything happened after that. Just all snowballed. We became friends. I saw his collection and I about fainted. I figured somebody like that needs some help lifting all these big long boxes. So
yeah, he saw some more today than he just about passed out at that we're going to show you in just a little bit.
All right, well, that's going to be. I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Ray. If people don't know you, Ray, just give them a little bit about you, because we don't want to spoil the whole show, because man, I'm excited to have you on and throw a few questions at you and with Steve. So let the people know, brother, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, I'm 82 years old, and so I enjoy collecting stuff. And uh, I went to a lady's house and went to buy her coin collection, and I bought her coin collection, and after I did that, she said, I've got 5 comics in a cedar chest. If you're interested in them, you can have them. And so I bought those 5 and put them in a file drawer in my office here for a year or a year and a half. And I was stumbling around looking for something and ran across them. And so I thought I'd take them down to a comic book store and ask them, what did I have? And they said, you got 5 old comics back in 1940. You've got one that came out just a little bit close to the range that Mickey Mouse came out, but it wasn't a Mickey Mouse comic. And you have Batman number 6, and you have Superman number 6, and Superman number 11, and you have Batman number 2. So those 5 comics were certainly worth going to that lady's house. So when I found out what kind of value was in those 5 comics, again, it's got to be 25 years ago. I just thought, okay, well, down the road, maybe I'll buy out some comic book stores as they're going out of business. So there was 5 comic book stores here in Rapid at that time, and now there's only one. And well, there's 1.5, I guess, with this one guy. But anyway, they were these comic book stores, when they were going out of business, were selling me 5, 10, 15,000 comics at a time.
Wow.
But it was such a good buy. I just kept spending money until I ended up, with no exaggeration, I do have 75,000 comics.
Good Lord.
And, I'm going to have Steve grab that stack of papers right around there. I want to show you something. It's taken me 11 years to put 63,000 on the computer, and these are the computer sheets. This covers 63,000 comics. So, and I'm still putting them on, but I put them on a lot slower now. Like if I'm not working at a rental, because we had a person trash a rental. I'm not working at a rental. I'm working on appraising estates for coin collections, or the other day I found that 10 or 15 years ago, I bought a pile of stamps from somebody. So I was soaking the paper off of stamps. You know, it's like there's just a never dull moment over here at this house.
I bet.
And then when Steve comes over, he tires me out with his
I don't know why I'm in the bathroom, but anyway,
huh?
I just
No, I mean nicely, with his enthusiasm as he's looking through some of these comic books. So I got these out of the bank vault and brought them home so that we could show you some of the scarcer ones.
Wow.
And then some of the comics, I had some of these priced at maybe $15 or $20, or maybe even $50 a piece back 20 some years ago. Some of them are $200 or $300 or $400 now because they introduce movies or whatever. So Steve's kind of helping me to upgrade my inventory. So
that's awesome.
That's a little bit about me.
That is that's amazing, Ray.
Hi, Perry.
Hi. Yeah, I got family over, so I ducked out for a few minutes, and I'm hiding in the bathroom.
It looks like you got a shower over your head. What is that up there? Are you in the bathroom?
You want to tell
Yes,
me?
yeah, this is the only quiet place right now in the house.
Well, Terry, it's the wrong time to be on the stool while you're trying to talk to us about comics.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh my god.
Man. No, I couldn't miss the opportunity to jump on. And when I came across your news video last week, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in this whole comic book collecting world that I've been a part of, because you don't only collect, you preserve. And like you see comic book shops going out of business, and you go in and you scoop them up and you organize them and you have them, and it's almost like you have your own pedigree collection. And it's very interesting because it's not something I've seen yet. I've never seen anybody collect the way you do or preserve the way you do, especially someone who doesn't read books. So I feel very happy and honored to be even talking to you, and thank you for jumping on this evening.
Well, I'm glad that you guys enjoy this stuff because, it isn't to make a living. I already figured out how to make a living, and that doesn't work anymore. But I used to, for 50 years, I designed computer forms. So I designed invoices and purchase orders and payroll checks and all this stuff. But nowadays, you guys can print your own stuff off of your own computer. So I'm way obsolete. So that's why I'm finally getting into the hobby stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to show you a couple of old books that I found.
Of course. Let's see them.
These are called Punch, Punch. Have you guys ever heard of those?
I have not.
Punch. And then Comic World.
Buck
Have you ever
Rogers.
heard of those?
Buck Rogers sounds pretty familiar, but I've never seen that before.
I do have a Buck Rogers somewhere. And then Steve just brought me over the oldest comics that I've got. I have 3 of them from 1919. They're called
Wow, what the heck?
So this is from 1919, and then the other one is 1918. But they're like this one says right on it, Series 3, but they're really disintegrating.
Wow.
I've ordered some big plastic bags that'll be in another week or so, but I forgot I even had these until that I better dig out something, and I went looking, and sure enough, there's those books that I put away for a lot of years. I just dropped the phone here just a minute. So,
Hey, it's all right, man. It's okay.
And they're from 1918 and 1919.
That's remarkable.
Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We see you, bro.
But we want to show you a couple of things that can make you drool a little bit.
Oh, all right. I'm not drooling enough as it is.
You what?
No,
Oh my goodness, man! Now, Steve said there's a box out there that was like 20 years old that had not been opened.
Yeah, they're actually
box.
There's 12 long boxes out there that have not been opened in 26 years. Yeah, but
this box hasn't been opened since 2002.
Yeah, 2002. Wow. But I want to show you this one here, and this comes with a certificate.
Oh, snap!
From Marvel Entertainment Group. And then this one here is the second issue of Fantastic Four. We're just going to go through a few of these. Here's the third issue of Fantastic Four.
Oh my God.
There's the fourth issue.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, if you guys were to ask me what's my favorite comic book, I like John Wayne.
Ooh.
And I have a bunch of John Waynes. I have the very first comic book that he put out. And it's hanging in my office on a wall up here. So, and John Wayne's name was Marion. It wasn't John, it was Marion Wayne.
Wow, did not know that.
I know that either.
Okay, this is called Fun Comics. It's issue number 69, 1941.
Good Lord.
That's insane.
I can't even, man. Wow.
This is what you've been waiting on. This is Batman number 2.
Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, we also have a Batman number 6.
Ron's losing it, man.
This all goes back in the bank Monday anyway. So we
sure they should be.
Okay, he likes this one. This is Batman number 72.
Jungle Batman.
Jungle Batman. And if you look at his feet, he doesn't have shoes on.
But there's laces
There's
drawn
laces.
Oh my goodness, man.
Those
are Jesus sandals, right, Perry?
Right.
This is Batman number 99. And some of these books are up into this is a $300 book. That other book we just showed you was a $900 one. We're out west here, so here's a Buffalo Bill comic book.
Wow.
And this is dated 1905.
1905?
Yeah.
1905.
Wow, that's like what a comic or a age. That's insane.
218.
God.
I've never seen anyone have a book that old.
That is
okay. Here's a $1,200. Here's a $1,200 book. It's Superman number 6.
Oh man, I knew you had some gems. Wow.
Oh my Lord.
Well, I guess we got 2 more. This is Superman number 11. Last time I priced it, it was $1,125.
Good Lord.
But you got to remember that's a
Goodness.
lot of years ago. And Steve's got one more in here. This book's $925. It's Superman number 26. And this is 1944. So Steve thought he was fighting Hitler, but Hitler doesn't have a mustache there, but Superman's holding a Liberty Bell on the other side.
That's cool.
Anyway, that's just a little bit to wet you guys' whistle.
my whistle is officially wet.
Yeah. Mine's been wet since he came on the show. I didn't know what to do. I was so nervous.
My purpose with the comic books is really to help people fill gaps. I'm 82. I just as soon sell off some of these books to people who really want them to fill a gap that they're missing. Okay? And so Steve will assist me with this if down the road anybody's interested.
Yeah, these 3 are.
Okay, yeah, Steve found 3 more. Here's Tales of Suspense.
Oh, God.
And this is 1964. This is issue 51. Steve liked this one, Journey into Mystery. This is 1954.
Oh, man.
God.
And I kind of like this one. This is the 9th issue of Terror of the Jungle. Had you ever seen a Terror of the Jungle, either one of you?
Never. Sir. Never, sir.
So And
Wow,
I think
wow.
Steve showed you Daredevil, didn't he?
Well,
Oh yeah, don't hurt my feelings once again by showing me the Daredevil.
This is Daredevil number 1.
You could do it. Oh, good
Oh,
lord.
there we go.
Uh,
That's awesome.
This is the Flash. This was supposed to be for Rod because he's a
Wow.
Flash collector. Daredevil number 2.
oh,
The electronic cover. Wow.
Daredevil number 7. Now this book isn't very much. Steve says it's only worth $18, but it's Daredevil number 9.
I have that one. That's
Do you?
my wife. She actually bought that. That's one of my first wall books, and I have that in my living room. So she gave me permission to put a book in the living room. I have that one and a Batman book. I don't know the Batman book, but I know that one. But she said, "Yeah, you can
I
put
gotta
it on
tell
the
you a
wall."
story. Another one that you might be glad to hear. Maybe, I don't know. But
Pass out, man. I can't
when
take.
I went to buy these different comics from the different comic book stores, this one guy had about 26 boxes that he wanted to keep for himself. So a few years clicked by, and then he says, "You know, Ray, I want to sell those." And so he brought them over in a Volkswagen bus. And at that time, I had bought a monstrous long mirror at a garage sale. It was in an iron frame. It was at least 16 feet across and had cable to hang it up. It came out of a doctor's estate, okay? But it stayed at this auction. Nobody bid on it, nobody at all. So I was leaving the auction and I said to the auctioneer, "What do you want for that mirror?" And he says, "Ray, what do you give me for that mirror?" And I says, $10. So I bought the mirror for $10. I hired a guy with a Volkswagen car to bring it over to the house. He put it on top of his car and brought it here. He had railings, so that it wouldn't break. But anyway, I got it in the house. And my wife says, "I don't want that piece of junk." And I said,
Is that what she really said? Junk or something else?
so anyway, she said that. She's pretty nice. She's pretty easy to work with. But anyway, she says, "Ray, I don't want that." So this guy called me and he says, "Ray, I want to sell my 26 boxes of comics." I says, "You know what? This mirror that I got it was an antique, and it was worth easily $800 or $900, but I got it for $10. I said, I'll trade you the mirror for those comics." So I traded them for those 26 boxes. Well, my wife, she works at the school system helping mentally challenged kids. And she's been doing that for 26 years now. But anyway, she came home from school and there was 26 boxes. Remember, I had already bought a huge pile of comic book store stuff. But these 26 boxes were stacked down by the fireplace. And she says, "Yes," because she thought they were on the way out. Well, they had just come in. Okay. So what she did was in the corner of our fireplace room, we stacked them all in the corner there. And for 4 years, she would throw a different color sheet on top of them and make winter scenes or summer scenes or whatever it was until I finally moved them to the carport. So there's the story of 26 boxes that came in.
Wow.
You guys aren't bored yet, are you?
I love the stories. I can listen to you tell stories about it all day, honestly.
Well, that mirror was super nice. I mean, it came out of an expensive doctor's house, and he just offered it. This was a charity auction. But
That's one hell of a deal. $10 for 26 comics. That's a pretty good deal. $10, and he wound up with 26 boxes of comics.
Right.
That's a
It's a
steal.
good trade.
Yeah.
Now, the guy, that's what happened. The guy did come with then a Volkswagen bus, and that's how he took the mirror home in. And I think he still has it.
Hey, as long as he's happy with it.
You guys ever have to pause for a commercial?
No.
Here, no.
People going live.
Then I can drink in front of you?
Yes, you're perfect.
You can do whatever you want to do, man. And while you're doing that, I want to say hello to people that are watching you, Ray. They're in the chat. There's a bunch of people. Perry's in the shower taking a break. I got to walk around. God knows what he was doing. But there was so many people here that wanted to hang out with you, Ray. And I wanted to throw their names out there real quick. And I hope I'm not missing anyone. Van Rangian, Vigilante, Downright Nerdy Podcast, Two Brother Comics, Fuchsia Only, Z Collects, 1-2 Comic Talk, C3 Comics in the House, Skit Comics in the House, and let's see here. It says someone here, Jamie McNollan. It says Tetsuya. I have an idea who that is. I'll show it. So we got our G Harold in the house. What's going on?
Hey,
Steve Whiting. All these people are hanging out, man, to watch Ray and Steve from Capncomics. We really do appreciate your time, especially Perry and I. It's amazing to have a legend on the show. We got Caroline and Chris in the house, man. Comics on the Mind in the house. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's see who else.
Hey, Rod.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to duck out and go sing happy birthday. I'm gonna try to make it back.
All right, brother. Go ahead, Perry. Say happy birthday.
If I don't
family
see
member.
I'm gonna watch the replay. So you keep killing it.
Thank you, sir.
Is the shower over?
No, it's not over.
No.
He needs to leave. He needs to say happy birthday to someone.
My son, he just turned 7.
Congrats.
Right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I will be seeing a lot more of you, Steve, and Mr. Ray. So
thank you very much.
All right. So we'll keep doing the show. And that's pretty dope, man. He had to go say hi and do happy birthday to the family. And I want to keep saying hi to people in the house. Let's see here. Tom's Comics in the house. And let's see. I think that's Stay Puff, Sean in the house. And I want to say thank you all for hanging out. We're hanging out right now. If you have not noticed, we have Ray, a legend, man. He's only 82 years young, man. 82 years young. There's no old in this. This is 82 years young. And we got Steve from Capncomics. Perry told me, well, actually, he sent them to me on a direct message on Instagram and said, yo, you need to bring these guys on your show and do an interview. Or I don't like calling it an interview. I like to say like a hangout, man. We're hanging out with these guys talking about comic books. And it really is an honor and a pleasure to have. I'm out of words, man, because I know people that collect comic books, but to have someone like you, Ray, that's out the ballpark, man. That's out the ballpark. And I want to say thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you taking the time with me. Now, will you be able to give your group of people my email address in case they're interested in filling a gap?
Yes, sir. We could do that.
Or they can get a hold of Steve, either one.
Yes.
Capncomics. Got a few more books to show you.
There's another one that hasn't been open since 2000.
All right, yeah. Make sure, guys, you gotta check out Capncomics, and he's on Instagram. So if you want to get a hold of Ray, he wants to sell some books, and I got Ray's email, and we could arrange everything, man. We could arrange everything. You want to send an email to me, I'll forward it to Ray or to Steve. Man, we'll work something out. So don't worry about that, Ray. And as always, man, the super chat is open. If you want to donate to the channel, guys, all you gotta do is click that button. But anyway, it's Ray time. It's not my time. It's Ray time.
Okay, here's action number 95.
God, man.
And here's action number 92. You might like this one. This is from 1945, Captain Marvel. Have you ever heard of Doll Man?
Use this button, Bill.
Okay. The Adventures of the Unknown. This is a good one. This is Captain Marvel Jr.
Man. You're killing me, Ray, man. I'm about to pass out here watching all this comic goodness.
Major Victory.
Never seen that. Or even heard of it before.
A fun one. And some of these older books, people write their name on them. Some of them have been stamped with, I don't know whether your viewers know, but when comic books back in the olden days, back then, when comic books were not sold by a local store, then to give credit for the books, they did one of two things. They either tore the cover off and left the comic that way, or they took and stamped the comic book, or they dated the comic book and said 9 out of 20 or something like that they're giving credit for. So a lot of times the older books you find marked one way or another. This must have been a military kind because it says PFC Hans Albertson. This was a #1 issue of Egbert, and it's from 1946. So this would have been a PFC that was probably just getting out of World War II, because the war ended in 45. I like Westerns. I have 10 boxes, 10 long boxes of just Westerns going back to Tim Holt and Hopalong Cassidy, and some of them that were around when I was a kid. And I also have 16 of the smaller boxes of only Batman. 16 boxes full of Batman comics. And
16 long boxes.
no,
Well, Ray, you want to show off some books. I want to show off one Golden Age book that
Go
was
ahead.
donated to me from a comic book community member. He goes by Robert a G Spot Godovan, and I just got to show it because he knows I'm a baseball fan. And this is 1949. This is the oldest book I have in my collection. To you, you probably saying, "Oh, that's nothing." I probably got, better.
I don't treat people that way. I'm saying, hey, that's neat.
Yeah, and it's amazing because everyone knows I'm a baseball fan, and he knew that I'm a baseball fan. Obviously, you can see the Phillies behind me, so he sent this to me, and I swear this is a book that I treasure because it's I can't. There's no words for it.
So, are you allowed to hang that one in your front room?
If my wife gives me the permission, I think I will try to find a little spot for it. But she wants more pictures, and I was like, I want more comic books.
Here's an old book here. It's from 1945. It's called Ha Ha. Ha Ha Comics.
What the heck? I've never seen that before. Oh my lord.
So it's from 1945. And I write on the books whether they're war, whether they're torn, or whether they're creased, and so that if somebody is looking for them, they're not paying a high price for something that's beat up.
Okay, well,
This
that's
is an
cool.
old Jungle book from 1946, Jungle Comics. This is from 1945, Laffy and Daffy. I don't know whether you've ever heard of that.
That's amazing.
Of course, here's an old 1945 Mutt and Jeff. Now, these were the books that when I was younger, Mutt and Jeff was around, but in reality, I worked my whole life, so I didn't have time to read comics because I was either raking leaves or shoveling snow or selling sunflower seeds or seeds to the houses or gift cards or pushing around an ice cream on my wagon, taking it to the wrestling matches to sell ice cream. I just was always working. So this stuff comes natural to me. It's not a job.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Another Mutt and Jeff. This is in better shape. This is number 20. Okay, have you ever heard of Smash Comics?
Never. Okay, I'm here
1945.
sitting, just absorbing all this information from you, brother. And I have no words what's going on right now because I think the chat feels the same way I do. I'm like mind blowing. And all the questions I had, I didn't even know what I was going to ask you. But I want to see the books. But I just wanted to throw one question at you. Do you remember like your first comic?
In the latter years here, my first comics were those 5. I had no other comics.
The Superman 6, 11.
Yeah, Superman, Batman 2, and Batman 6, and Superman 6, and Superman 11. And then that Disney one.
You want to tell them how much you paid for them?
No.
Okay.
that is truly amazing. The Batman. Oh my goodness.
We have a couple other things. Do you want to at least show them?
Yeah, do it, brother.
Camera.
Yeah.
Let Captain show you a little bit around my office.
All right. There we go. So he's got
tour. This is pretty nice. I'll give
this
you
one's the first John Wayne comic book.
And the Horse Soldiers was with John Wayne. That went into a movie. And then right behind you is John Wayne in the Sands of Iwo Jima.
Do you have anything signed by John Wayne, Mr. Ray?
No, I don't. I don't.
Have you met him before?
No. We went to his airport in California, though, one time. Say, I got to show you something. You know, Captain and I were visiting, and the dogs, we have 2 dogs that we rescued from what's called the no-kill area. And the dogs, they get ticked off at you when you don't pay attention to them. So I had them in the bedroom with the door shut, and this is what they did to my wife's tape.
Oh.
Which is no big deal. It's just they were showing their hostility because they weren't out here to visit with us.
Yeah. My dog, my cat could get like that sometimes, man. So
yeah, well,
I understand.
They got a personality.
Yeah, take them on a tour upstairs.
Let's take them. Yeah, we'll take you on a tour to a couple of spots.
Oh my guys, we're going to a tour. This is gonna be epic. I'm gonna leave
to the carport, the garage.
It's in covered.
All right, this is Captain Comics. We're hanging out with Ray. He is 82 years young and has a massive comic collection. The guy has some great, amazing comic books. You've already seen it, man. So, and not only that, I'm gonna put out something out there where if you want to buy some of his books, he's want to sell something. I have emails out there. You can reach out to Captain Comics on Instagram. And holy coconuts.
Yeah, this has got 25,000 books out here, and every single one of them is already on the computer.
Wow.
In the corner here is 12 boxes that the majority of those are number one, but they're lots of duplicates. So if somebody was working on something and they wanted some earlier duplicate or earlier number ones, I probably have them for them.
All right. Well, I know that I'm looking for some Marvel team up Spider-Man, and I think you guys were trying to put something together for me. So
Yeah, we found 44 out of the 61 that you sent us.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. I just haven't pulled the books yet, so I haven't got what the prices are, but they're stored away. But Captain and his wife keep me so busy pulling their books, plus working at the rental and taking care of the dogs because my wife's in Utah visiting for a week. So anyway, we will get to your stuff. We got a couple more stops to show you. This is the carport, and it's sealed up so that I don't have to worry about moisture damage or anything like that. And we've got a lot of books in a box like this type of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
We got a lot of stuff like this. 125 books for $60, and these have been packed away since for this group since 2015 or 19.
Yeah.
Whatever.
2015.
What year are we in?
2020.
Okay.
But then he has boxes up here that haven't even been opened for 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. The people are saying, Ray, if you want to know, they're saying, man, I'll put it right here on the chat. They're saying that's nuts, man. And we got people saying from Comics on My Mind. He said, my mind is blown.
Well, wait till you see the next spot we're taking you to.
And somebody said, my friend Kachun said, WTF. So you know what that means. And Kevin Cartagena said, oh my God. So, it's amazing. And not only that, we have my lady friend here, Fuchsia. She said her emojis are like gigantic. Like, oh my God. So does he have, they're asking, do you have a website?
Yeah, I do. It's under Neck Coolers. Why don't I spell it for you? Because I would like to, down the road, send some neck coolers to you in Florida, especially in the summertime, because I've been making these for 26 years. And what happened is the guy from the TV station came over here and interviewed me for the comic books. And then he went and put his picture on my neck cooler site so that you can actually touch on his picture on the neck cooler site, and it opens up to the comic book warehouse.
Wow.
Yep. So I want to tell you something. I went and added on to the house a 22 feet across, 2 stories high. Yeah. 2 stories high, 12 foot wide, and there's about 40,000 comics out here that's already on the computer. And so we're going to kind of take and show you what that looks like.
Oh my goodness.
Why don't we show you?
Wow.
This is the 16 boxes of Batman comic books.
16 boxes of Batman.
Can I have one book?
What?
You guys can have one long box.
I just want one book.
You could have
Just
2
go
books.
out there and grab one book. I'm just kidding, man.
He said he wants to grab just one book.
Oh, So let's go upstairs.
All right.
Oh man, this is we're hanging out with Captain Comics, hanging out with his good friend, the legend, the epic legend of Ray. 82 years young, man. And he's giving us a tour of his house. And we have the amazing chat with us right now. I want to say thank you so much, everyone in the house that's hanging out with Ray. This is dope, man. This is amazing. This is something special to me and to the comic book community. I've never seen something like this before. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, and stay tuned, because if you were to buy some books, all you gotta do is send an email out to Captain Comics and send me an email, and I'll forward it to Ray, and you guys could work something out. Take it away, guys.
Okay, these here are Superman, all Superman, then Captain America, and then Ghost. These are all Superman too. The Adventures, regular Superman. Action Comics are down here, but this is kind of my favorite. I was in the Marine Corps, so I'm more of a military thinking guy, and I wish I never would have got out of the Marine Corps. But these are war comics. GI Joe, not GI Joe, but U.S. Army. Yeah, GI Combat, U.S. Army, U.S. Marines, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force. And then even some old books that go back to 1944. These are the old magazines called Yank.
Oh my goodness, man.
And they're so I got a bunch of these too. But anyway, come this way.
Got to follow down the hallway.
There is 10 boxes of old Western comic books. That's what's in this section here. And Tex Ritter, Bill Boyd or Hopalong Cassidy. It was William Boyd, but Bill Boyd really. And Lash LaRue, probably stuff that some of your listeners never heard of before as far as cowboy.
All right. Hey Ray, they're just asking how many boxes you have. Just give them a random number.
How many boxes do you think you have altogether as a?
Oh, I have no idea. That's one count I forgot to do. Now you got me, so I'm going to have to do another count.
Oh no!
It's got to be over. I will say maybe over 30,000.
30,000 long boxes and short boxes.
Oh, no. Because if a long box holds 220 or 260 books, depending if they're boarded or bagged, a short box is 125. So if you're, we figured 12 boxes out in the carport there that were number ones, or ones, twos, or threes, whatever in them. Steve and I figured out that, or Captain and I figured out that probably was about 2,500 in 12 boxes. So I suppose what you could do is take 75,000 and divide it by, at the most, 220 in a box, and you'd come up with how many boxes about.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Okay, here's Wonder Woman, and then these are all Spider-Man back here.
A whole nother aisle.
ASMs, man. Here you go, guys. We got some ASMs.
What?
ASMs. Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep. The amazing. Well, they're downstairs. But regular Spider-Man's up here. Web of Spider-Man's up here. Spectacular. This is a fun one, too. These are detective magazines, detective comic books. There's 3 long boxes and 1 short box. You can figure there's 200, 400, 600, 800 books right here in 4 boxes. You could kind of figure it out. Incredible Hulk, that's these. There's a bunch of those.
Wow.
And
So you got Incredible Hulk. So how
Here's
many
your
do you
Flash.
have any how many I'm gonna have to ask. Do you have the most popular, the one is the 181 or the 180?
181.
Yeah, we got a 181 somewhere.
Yeah.
How many? Just one
How
or
many?
I think did we only see one or
I think so.
we
saw
know
one.
we saw one.
One.
oh.
Here's 3 boxes of the Flash,
Oh.
and they're long boxes. I understand Flash is your specialty, or one of them.
It's not my specialty, but I love Flash. It's my passion.
Okay,
Now there's another Flash down there.
well that's the other one.
Oh.
Yeah, it was box
1, 2.
and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Here's Tarzan. Tarzan and Bomba and Jungle Action and all those different ones. Here's She-Hulk. This is what Captain's wife likes. She-Hulk.
Oh, I didn't know that, Captain.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And then if you want, there's some Native American stuff up here too. Like if you wanted oh I know. Let me show you what my wife got me when I turned 80.
When you turn 80, you're walking around like you're 50, man.
She got me this walking stick that has a horn on it, a magnifying glass in case I need to look through something, my pill counter, and then a pair of false teeth.
Oh.
You know, there's a lot of stuff up here. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, that's amazing. There's someone asking about Red Wolves. You got anything Red Wolf?
Red Wolves.
Red Wolf. That doesn't sound familiar.
Well, we might.
I don't know about the Apex Comics. So
We're gonna have to find a plug-in. So you plug in my phone
Okay.
before it dies.
Tell him we're going back downstairs.
We're gonna go back downstairs. Got to
So
plug
we
in
can
the
show him
phone.
that.
There's a Native American buffalo skull.
Yeah, that's a real one. That costs $380 just for that skull.
jeez.
New Defenders, Green Lantern, G.I. Joe, Goblin, Green Arrow, Green Goblin, Green Hornet.
Do you have Green Lantern 1, sir?
You have Green Lantern 1.
I don't know. We'll look it up on the computer sheet.
We gotta go downstairs and plug in the phone.
Plug the phone in, and while you guys are walking back to the room, and you know what, I want to jump back in the chat and want to say again, everyone, hello, thank you for hanging out for the Coast to Coast comic shows. I'm still overwhelmed here. What's going on, man? Because Jeffrey could not be on the show. We had Perry Comics for a few minutes. He was hanging out in the shower. He had to escape because it is his son's birthday. So he was hiding in the bathroom, watching us talk for a few minutes. And I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Apex Comics. Let's see who else we got. We got Victoria in the house. Hello, dear. Thank you for hanging out. And Air Spider 23. I think I mentioned you already. If not, I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, Perry's back in the house. Let's see. Tom's books and reviews in the house. And thank you for hanging out. Scrolling down here. And the Wednesday pool list. And we got Katie in the house. What's up, my girl Katie? Where's Mark at, man? And they're asking where you located. My girl Katie is a cool friend. She said, where you guys are located?
Rapid City, South Dakota, right in the middle of the United States.
There it is. They're dealing with some snow. So I hope you guys are okay with that. And
so when did Green Lantern come out?
Oh, good Lord, you're asking a 44-year-old. I should be asking you that.
Well, I'm looking here. I'm looking at this listing of Green Lantern because you asked a question. I see some in the 60s, but the one that I've got, I have 4 number 1s, but they're 1990.
It's gotta
So
be.
they're not the early one.
No, sir. Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the 61.
But let me look in my rare comic list.
Oh, there it is. Bring it out, man. They're rare. That's
Well,
how.
I've got a list of about, maybe, I don't know how many. We should have shown those boxes, I guess. But just a minute, I'll tell you if I have a rare Green Lantern.
I'm sure you do somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure too.
He probably has like 3 copies somewhere.
Green Lantern. Okay, Green Lantern. The earliest Green Lantern I have is number 5, and it's from 1942.
God.
Now it's only $525.
All right. So you give that to me for how much? 50, you said? 50, right?
Well,
50, right?
It's also worn.
Are we going to shake on it? 50?
No, it's also worn and it's marked. So the mark on it could be where they tried to return it to a store, or the store gave credit on it. But I also that's the earliest Green Lantern that I have is 1942, and just one of them.
Wow, that's amazing. While I'm here live, I need to open up a package. It's nothing like Green Lantern stuff, but I have a package that I got. It's from a comic book community member. They sent me an AOK, which is considered an act of kindness. Is from Short Box Potty One, and I just want to open it. And I kind of cracked the seals already a little bit. I don't know what's in here, so I just want to do this real quick, and then we can keep hanging out with Ray. So so I'm just gonna do something real quick. This is what we do. The comic book community, we send out books to people that like that. It's just a little gift. So I don't know what's here, and I wanna just crack this open here. I got a little tape here. Maybe I can. But guys, I want to say thank you so much to Ray and Capncomics for coming on the show. It means a lot to me, and not only to myself, but to the whole comic book community, because it's there's no words. There's no words to hang out with someone like Ray that has.
It's really been fun because it's nice to know that somebody really appreciates the time that's put in, because anybody else would say, hey, you're wasting your time. I don't think of it that way. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Did you tell them how they could see this guy's picture on the Neck Cooler site? Why don't I give you the Neck Cooler site so they can actually pull it up and they can see the inventory, they can see the warehousing, if that's okay with you.
Yes, sir, man. If you could do it right now, Ray, if you want to tell the people where they can. I could try to type it here real quick.
Well, I'll give it to you verbally, and if you want to try to type it, you sure may. But it's Neck Coolers. It's all one word. NECKCOOLERS.net. And if they click on that, that'll pull up the Neck Cooler site. Sometimes it comes up okay, but sometimes it'll come up, here's a couple of choices like Rapid City, South Dakota. Well, that would be the right one.
So it's neck, like neck.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna
once you soak this Neck Cooler for 30 minutes, it stays cool around your neck for 2 or 3 days in the sunlight. And I should have patented it 26 years ago, and I didn't do it. And so everybody and their brother is making something like a neck cooler, and even copying my advertisement down. But you know what? I've had 26 years of it. It's not a big deal.
But you know what, though? People will say this about you, Ray. They're saying Z Collect said, thank you for preserve the books. So, you know, they appreciate what you're doing. So there it is. Apex Comics said, thanks, Ray.
Hey,
So,
Apex, you're welcome. Is that a picture of Apex that's in the corner?
Yeah, right.
That's him. Yes, it
And
is.
what's his name?
That's
Apex.
Brett. Brett Cantrell.
You know.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't have a title particularly. As a kid, I was called Buddy Ray, so Steve calls me Bud all the time. Yeah, Buddy. Yeah.
but this is the book I got. I just open it.
Man Thing.
Yeah, this is one of those. I'm searching for my, my Marvel Team of Spider-Mans. There it is.
Ooh.
This is issue 122. I do not have this one, so I want to say thank you to Short Box Potty One for hooking me up with the box, and Fantastic Girl. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate this. So that's another book to my collection. Once I get this whole run of the Marvel Team Up Spider-Man, I'm gonna sit there and read 150 issues. But I know, man, I gotta buy some from Ray first. So
No, I just want you to enjoy seeing these. Would you like to see a few Captain American?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Another one that hasn't been open since 2000.
This 2002.
Okay.
These haven't been open.
I'll put the solo screen. Man, I'll put the solo screen. You guys need to follow right now Capncomics and enjoy your time hanging out with the legend right now. He's 82 years young, showing off his epic comic goodness. And you know what? Here's a little glimpse right now.
See, there's Captain America,
100.
issue 100, issue 101,
Good Lord, man.
102, and 108. How many of those we got?
Don't have a heart attack, chat, when you're watching this right now. You may pass.
You're right.
I'm telling the chat, don't have a heart attack because you're bringing up comic goodness.
Okay, this is number 110.
111.
Catherine likes this one. This is number 111. Okay, and this one here, this is something to show you. This is what I'm talking about. If you can see this writing right here, that's what happens when a comic book store is taking some books back. They'll stamp these things, and at that time, they're not to be sold, but they're supposed to be destroyed. Well, a lot of times, the store owners, if their kids are collecting, they absorb these. But that's a voided out comic book by one of the people. This was voided out February 4th of 1969.
Wow.
Okay. Book number 16.
160.
116. 119. And then we have a giant here of a number 1 giant. So those were the Captain American ones, or some of them. Then we got a Defenders, and this is a Defenders number 1.
I have that one. Ray, we have something in common.
There it is.
Very good.
Mine's is a little dinged up. Should I say that this is a book that my wife bought me.
Okay, well, what happens is one of these is worn and creased,
Yeah.
and the other one is, they're both worn and creased. But there's two of them.
So
Three.
my my pages are like, I went to open it and like put it in a new book with a new bagging board, and I was like, oh no, let me stop, because a little chip fell off from the page, and it's
Well, you know,
right here.
even if it is a little bit beat up, you got a $65 or $70 book.
Yeah, and she paid 40 for it, and I wouldn't. You know what? I won't sell it.
That was a good deal. Oh, somebody else, Bruce, somebody. Hi, Bruce.
Bruce's.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Hi, Bruce. My name's Ray
go ahead,
Brown.
Ray getting down, talking to the chat. That's nice.
Do what?
I said Ray's getting down, talking to the chat.
Here's the Defenders, and
two.
it's number 2
That's
and
nice.
number 3.
Two of them.
Oh, we got 2 number 3s, I guess. And let's skip to something else.
All right, let's try Iron Man.
How would you like to see Iron Man number 1?
No, don't do it. Please don't hurt. Oh, all right. You're gonna hurt my feelings now. There you go.
And Iron Man number 5.
Wow, man.
And this is 1968.
Number 7.
Iron Man number 7.
13.
And Iron Man number 13.
Go. 17.
A 17. And a giant size.
Wow.
Those are the Iron Man.
Do you have a giant size X-Men?
No, let's show this one.
Okay.
We'll show this one, and then we'll go look up. If we do.
I'll show this book here. It's a Teen Titan, 1966, number 1.
Wow.
So you say a giant size X-Men number 1.
Everyone loves, and I have a reprint. It was sent to me, but I have the German edition, and it's cool. It really is cool. But I'm just curious, man. I'm just curious.
I'm looking through the inventory sheets that just are S's through Z. So X-Men, Uncanny, or which one?
That'd be would be regular.
Regular X-Men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. X-Men Classic, X-Men Days of something, X-Men Years, Phoenix, Special Annual. X-Men Special Annual. We're still looking, just a minute.
That's fine.
X-Men.
We're hanging out with the legend right now. This is Ray hanging out with Capncomics. We're talking about comic books, going through comic book collections. This is they consider in comic books a first appearance, or a not first appearance, but a cameo. There it is, a cameo.
There you go.
It's not a cameo. This is a first appearance. Hanging out with these guys right now. I want to say thank you so much.
Yeah, we didn't put any makeup on.
I did a little bit. I got a little bag under my eyes.
I combed the beard. Does that count?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, X-Men. I've got an X-Men annual. I have 21 issues of 1992, number 1.
I'll show you the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but if you needed one of the 21 issues of a newer one, I've got it.
I know you got a stack. This is the one I'm talking about.
Yep. I don't have that.
Yeah, and I'm so fortunate to have this from. This is a German edition.
Oh, you know, somewhere I put away. I have a French book. I have a German comic book. Um, I have when I buy some of the comics from different people, if they would have went to a foreign country, they would have picked up a comic book, and I would have ended up with it that way. I'm going to look in the rare group under X-Men just for the heck of it to see if I do have the same as what you've got.
It's pretty cool, man. I just like hanging out, just talking comics. And while you're going through that, I just show you this giant size X-Men. I wanted to show you real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I just
I don't. This was an annual.
Yeah, giant size. He doesn't have any giant size, but he has X-Men number 3, X-Men number 5, and X-Men number 9.
Wow. That's pretty amazing though, man. So Ray, did you meet any of these comic creators or artists?
If I read something, you know, Captain has got me more interested in actually opening them up and reading some stuff. The other day I read, oh, gads. I read something. You know, that's about the same way. I have a hard time remembering if I even ate, let alone what I read.
That's all right though, because I'm far behind in my reading too. So don't the people in the comic book community laugh at me because I order books, I buy books, but next thing you know, I'm behind a month in reading books. So it's all right, man. It's all right.
Well, you know, like I said on my website when I was being interviewed, these comics don't eat anything, so they don't cost a thing for having them on hand. And if we get a chance to read some, then fine. If I get a chance to, I'm really interested in filling people's gaps, you know. But I want to make sure that if I send off a book that's 100 or 200 or 300, you know, I want to make sure that I know that it's going to go to the right person, or you know, why we got breaking news for some reason. Oh, I want to make sure that it goes to a legitimate person rather than somebody that's just out. Hey, I'll flip it and I'll send it to Amazon or whomever, you know, or they would send it to Amazon or whomever. Do you have very many people that ask you about comic book cards?
Comic book cards.
Yeah, like Spider-Man.
Let me go grab a set.
Spider-Man or
no, I haven't.
Okay, because when I was looking for some stuff for Captain, I ran across a bunch of comic book cards, and some of them are called. Have you ever heard of a comic called Plasm?
No, sir. But I know someone that's looking for a Superman 199, and I'll put that up right in front of the screen right now. So if you guys are interested on buying that book, if he has it, Superman 199, Mr. Ray, do you have it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look.
All right, well, you can look.
199. You're talking about a comic, right?
Yep, Superman 199.
He's going to show you the cards while I'm looking it up.
He has a whole bunch of.
Now, it's funny that you're showing the cards because my brother sent me a text message the other day, and he said a worker of his brought some books, not books, but a little case, and there was a little stack of cards, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's pretty neat!" And I was like, "Is that one card or a lot?" And yep, that's what he did. He said it's a bunch of cards, and he said he's gonna give them to me. So I'm excited to see what I'm gonna find there. I don't know if Deadpool #1 will be in there, but we'll find out. But Ray is checking already. He's doing his homework.
Was that Spider-Man 199 or Superman 199?
Superman 199.
Superman. Okay, I got the wrong group.
Superman, man.
I was close. I was in the S's.
Well, this is what it's all about, man. We're hanging out and talking to the community, and they want to buy some books. And I want to say thank you so much to everyone in the house right now. I really do appreciate your time, not only myself, but our special guest, Capncomics, that brought onto the show Ray, the legend, the master.
Yeah, all right.
Legend.
That person was really close because I have 195, 196, and 197, and then it jumps to 200.
Ooh.
But I'm going to look in the rare stuff.
All right, man. There it is, man. What you want to do, if you want to find a book you're missing, he's going to have it. I'm pretty sure. Capncomics is going to reach out to Ray or send me an email. Any books you want, I'm going to forward the email to Capncomics, and we're going to, Ray's going to sell some books, and that's what we're going to do. I want that. I want the Daredevil #1. That's still at.
Hold it for you.
I do have. Are you there?
Yeah.
I do have Superman 199. I have 2 of them. One. Now remember, these haven't been priced for 20 years. One of them is priced $165, and the other one is priced $180. But I have 2 of them, and they're from 1967.
There it is, man. Dropping knowledge on Tom's comic books and review, man.
So that was a good test.
Well done, Ray. That's pretty good, Ray. You should do an auction or something, man. Do an auction and books, man. Oh, we got Baked the Snake in the house. Baked the Snake loves some books. He does some auctions here and there. He loves to sell some comics. Thank you, Baked the Snake, for jumping in the house. We're hanging out with a legend right now. He's 82 years young, just showing off his comic book collection. And
I want to show you a couple of different things. I got a couple of these.
Don't hurt me anymore, man. Don't hurt me, brother.
No, it's called Plasm, and what it is, that's the whole book in comic books. I mean, in cards. But it's the complete story, and I have 2 of those. This whole thing here, other than shipping and handling, I have it priced back then at $15. And then there's another thing called Legacy, and it has a lot more of the cards, but it has the complete story of Legacy. It looks like this on the cover. So if anybody is interested in anything like that, I have 2 of those, I believe, and they could sure have them. I mean, it almost costs so much for the shipping that it does for the price of what you're buying, unfortunately. But
that's
sure things could be worked out if you really have an interest in something. And I didn't get on here to really sell comics. I got on here just to tell you about what I've got.
Yeah, and that's fine. We're here to talking comics. You were showing off your collection, and that's the cool thing about it. And you know what? If you want to sell something, that's perfectly fine. And I don't care. You come on here. We're hanging out, man. We're hanging out. And that's the whole thing about it. And you want to talk about selling a book or 2, that's perfectly fine. And all you got to do is hit up Capncomics right now on Instagram. if you're watching this show right now, you're interested in a book, or you want to be like, yo, man, that Ray guy got some freaking dope stuff. I want something. You might want to hit up Capncomics first, and then Steve could hit up Ray, and they could work something out with you guys, man. So, but this
we
show,
have something.
go
We
ahead.
have something to show you that we don't understand. What it is this is the way the comic is supposed to look. Okay?
G.I. Joe 33.
G.I. Joe 33. I have an issue that has a back cover, but it has no place where a front cover was on it.
And then Mark Bueller.
And it's a Mark Bueller. So, but there's no cover, but it has a regular cover on the back, and it's stapled the right way, so the front cover wasn't tore off.
It's a misprint.
It's a misprint.
Same comic book, just different cover.
I wonder if anybody has seen such.
Amazing Fantasy 15.
Do you have it?
What?
Amazing Fantasy 15. First appearance of Spider-Man.
I don't know.
You have it somewhere, man.
We'll start off in.
You had 90,000 comic books. Would you know every one of them you have?
Who was it? Amazing what?
Amazing Fantasy.
ASM 115. Oh man, if he has it, you got to go down to the box and scoop it out. What do you think, Steve? You think he has it?
I don't know.
We're into the rare list. I don't see it on it. Is it a rare comic?
Yeah, that was the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
But over the years, Ray's met people that are comic book enthusiasts too. So, they've came over to his house and say, hey, I want this comic book or that comic book, and Ray will look it up if he has it or not. Sells it throughout the years, Some of these comics have gone out. Some still sitting here in his boxes.
I know the comic book store downtown. I've taken some books down there. I had a whole box of Venom, and they bought the whole box from me. And I thought they were just going to buy a couple, but they said we just soon have the whole box. So, that was gone before I even met Captain. So, I have no problem letting stuff go because my wife, she won't know what to do with it whichever direction I head, up or down.
Hey Ray,
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy what?
Life.
There it is, man. There it is. And
Well, I try to keep her happy. So anyway, how long have you been collecting comics?
well, I started this back in. You hit me with questions now. Well, my house got broken into back in 2016, and I told a friend of mine, I said, I want to get back into comics. And during that time, prior to that, I gave all my comics away. And I told them, I said, I want to get back into comics. I wanted to read stuff. And it's kind of awkward how things happen, or weird, or whatever you want to say. And the house got broken into. They took a lot of things. Long story short, that weekend, I told my friend I want to go to the comic book shop. There it is, brother. Take a swig. And so we went to the comic book shop, and I told my wife, I said, well, how much can I spend? And she was like, well, just take $150. Or I was like, man, 150? I'm not gonna spend $150 on comic books. And I was like, no, babe, I'll spend 50 or 40, whatever. And then I'll go to the comic book shop. and we went to a shop here in Florida. It's called Comics, and I went in there, and I was like, I haven't stepped in a comic book shop in years. And I was talking to my friend. I was like, I don't know what to buy. He was like, "You like Flash, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Just like whispering in his ear, "Yeah." So I picked up the new Flash comic books, and then I was like, "All right, so I can't start off with issue 15 and 16. I need to go back and find the back issues." So I go to the back issues. He's like, "They're right here, man. You need to buy these." Yeah, I probably walked out spending that entire day like 200, $300 a pop. Yeah, I got home. She said, "How much you spent?" I said, 150.
I got to tell you a story that I told Captain earlier today. I went to visit my son in Texas. He's a school teacher there. And I went to visit Kevin, and at that time, I had pretty close to 12,000 comics. And so he was off to school, and so I had some time. So I went downtown to the comic book store, and this guy had 3 comic book stores, and in each one of his locations, he had 100,000 comics. So I felt pretty small with what I had. But to my surprise, he had just come back from Comic-Con, and right in front of me on a table in a wooden frame with protective bags so moisture don't get in was the first issue of Superman. And he had bought that. And I'm not sure whether he bought it at Comic-Con or whether he took it to Comic-Con just to show it and bring it back. But anyway, I says, "What do you want for this?" Now, this is a lot of years ago. He says $20,000. Well, I didn't have 10,000 I didn't have 3,000, let alone 20,000. And so I came back home. Years and years and years clicked by, and I started to look in the comic price guide. Now it's up to 40,000, then it's up to 60,000, then it's up to 100,000. And I'm saying, and my wife Carol says, "Well, Ray, why didn't you buy it?" Well, yeah, I can picture what would have happened if I came home with a book and we owed for the next 10 years to pay for it.
Oh, that's my mistake, guys. Sorry about that. That means there's a basketball game going on. It's giving me all these notification bells, man. I hate this. Sorry. Let me try to.
So anyway, that's the story of the first issue of Superman. I do have the reprint of, Action. That's the one, isn't it? Make sure I say the right book.
Action comic.
Yeah, isn't that the one that's worth 100 and some grand or $1 million or whatever it is?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't keep up with this stuff. I have a hard time keeping up with what, like I said, whether I ate today. So,
oh, come on, man. You can't say that, Ray, man.
So,
Ray Man. I like that. Ray Man.
That's okay. So anyway, it must have been Action Comic rather than Superman. Whatever it was the expensive one.
The very first issue.
Yeah. Is it Action? Am I saying the right thing?
Yeah.
Do we need to look up in the price guide?
It'll either be Superman or Action Comics.
Which one just sold for over $1 million? And there's a couple of movie stars that's had this #1 issue.
It was my comic that was never published.
It was what?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Look at Ray running around trying to find books, man.
Well, this is Ray every time I come over.
It's my curiosity, you know. And that old saying about curiosity killed the cat.
Oh, trust me, I know that, man.
Yeah.
All right. I got a buddy of mine right here. ASM 129 is a great friend of mine. He said, I gotta say, Ray, I'm blown away with this collection and the story you are sharing with the the community. So thank you so much. ASM 129 is he has. I have you. Your collection is amazing, and his collection is right there with you. And he's here in Florida. So man, he said he's read every single book. I know, at the end of Perry's video, you say,
I don't even read comics.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't even read comics, but I'm starting to. Well, it says here that Action Comic #1 in near mint sold for 210,000. Okay, so that could have been the book because even beat up, it's $11,333. So it was probably that one.
Oh, that's right up my alley. I could afford that.
11,000. So anyway, I have the reprint of that, and it looks just like the regular one, that was printed in 1940, I think. But these people out there are going to be a lot smarter than I am on comic books because it's just a hobby. It's a fun hobby that I don't want to make it into a job.
But you know what? Ray? It is fun, and this is what we call the comic book community, and we're just happy to hang out with people like yourself and hanging out with Capncomics, because at the same time we're enjoying a history of knowledge from yourself. And honestly, I have to say, I'm still nervous just hanging out with you. I'll be honest, because it's like I had a bunch of questions running through my head, and there's no words. There's no words for it, man. And
just to make sure I don't goof up, I'm looking up Superman #1.
I'm telling him I'm nervous. He's looking up stuff.
Well, I had to look it up. But Superman #1 in near mint was 75,000, so it has to be Action that this guy has.
All right, well said.
But like I said, when I went to his store, I thought, man, I got 12,000 comics. I'm a big deal. Well, when he says I have 3 locations and I have 100,000 in each one, it kind of burst my bubble, but didn't bother me. So, Ray, do you have Detective 27? Hi, Clarence. Is that who it is?
Yep,
Clarence Price. Hi, Clarence. Where's Clarence at?
He's just on the chat. Yeah.
He's on the chat.
All right, they're chatting on the.
It doesn't say where he lives in the United States.
No,
he's Clarence. Where you live at, man? He's talking to you, brother. Ray is having a conversation with you right now. Let him know, man.
What do you say, Detective 27?
Yep.
Detective Comics issue 27.
Okay, I'm still looking.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Keep going.
Detective 27. No, the earliest detective I've got is 310, and it's 285, and it's from 1960. That's the earliest detective comic I have. So maybe Clarence needs something higher up than 27.
Whoa, wait a minute. Clarence from Philadelphia? That's where I was born and raised, brother. Oh, I gotta talk to Clarence on the private chat, man.
Yeah, ask him if they're getting a lot of snow.
Yeah, my dad. Actually, I spoke to my dad. He said he had about 3 inches. I said, stop complaining, man.
Yeah, well, tell Clarence we live up here where Mount Rushmore is.
Shots fired, Clarence. Yo, shots fired.
Doctor Strange #1.
Hey, we found a Doctor Strange #1
Oh,
from 1974.
Ooh.
Oh, I got two of them.
Doctor Strange #1. Do you, hey, Mr. Ray, do you have a Iron Fist #1? I have
Iron Fist.
Iron
Oh, yeah.
Fist number 1. I have a close friend that is looking for one, and I need to get that for him.
Yeah, I do. I have Iron Fist. I have two of them. They're 1975 is the year. One is worn and fine, and the other one is worn and torn.
All
Or
right,
a tear, but that's the way I label them.
that's fine. I probably we'll have to talk because I need to get it. I need to get it because he's like I need an Iron Fist, man. I need an Iron Fist.
Well, I had a bunch of these books bracketed by one of the comic book stores because they had bought, let me see here just a second. They bought two #1s from me, and a #2, a 13 and a 15, and another 15. So they bought two #1s, a #2, a 13, and two 15s from me. And I just wouldn't sell them anymore because that was enough to sell that day, you know. Tank Collector. Neat. Yo, yo, yo. Is that a comic?
No,
He's saying hello, man. Yo, Ray, what's up, brother?
Oh, okay. Hi, Tank Collector. Were you in the military?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Okay, he probably was.
All right.
And let's see here, man. If you guys, you know what, I usually do a show an hour, but we went over an hour because this is epic goodness, hanging out with a cool member in the comic book world, man.
I hope I'm not boring you because I don't intend to do that.
Ray, let me tell you something right now. I could go on talking all night with you, brother.
I have a hard time sending Captain. I have a hard time getting Captain to go home.
I think he likes hanging out with you, man. I think you guys are awesome, and that is a cool homie you're hanging out with. Not a cool friend you're hanging out with, or a brother.
I know he's a good worker because we've been painting and staining, and today we tore out a wall over a bathtub. I have some people that I just had to ask to move out of a house that we have. They did $11,000 worth of damages. And not one penny is covered by insurance. So Ray is killing it on here. I am? Oh, Air Spider. Hi, Air Spider.
Yeah. He's telling you you're doing a great job, in other words, man.
Well, I'm going to look to see what else I can find to show you. Oh, I will show you this. This is what I used for my last group of comics.
All right, we'll show it off here.
It's empty, as you can see. I just thought I'd show you that to let you know I do buy stuff.
All right. Well, I know there's a book you can send out to me whenever you want. There's a beautiful Daredevil for $50. I'm willing to buy it.
I can send you this, and then you can start your own group.
Oh my God, man, this guy. He just bypassed whatever I said. Man, where did he go? To show me the
Look for another box that's been buried for 20 years.
Oh man, are you gonna help him or not?
No, he's just got papers.
All right. Well, he's bringing out. Oh man.
Thought I'd show you a couple more things. Have you ever seen Punch Comics?
No, I thought you went to get the Daredevil. He's gonna give me for $50. I thought, but it wasn't. All right. Punch
Comics.
Wow.
This is 1946. And then, did you ever have these?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen those before, sir.
Do what?
He's never
I've
seen
never seen them before.
horror comics.
Okay, they're horror comics.
Oh man, that's dope though. That's nice.
I don't collect those. They were just stuff that when you buy stuff, you get them. Because, like, I may go and buy somebody's comics, and I'll end up, they need a little extra money, so I'll buy their ball cards, or I'll buy some coins, or buy some stamps, or whatever. So, I guess when I get in the spending mood, I just go wild. This is an old book here of Dracula. And it's The Thirst for Blood. Not my thing. And
but
then,
I like the black and white art in it. I do
oh,
like.
do you?
Yeah, I do like that type of stuff.
Well, that's what. In fact, the very last page is in red. We'll show them the last page.
Ooh.
That's
It looks like Perry with comics with more hair.
Now, then there's Eerie.
Okay.
And monsters. And then I do like these types of books. So every now and then I'll read some of that.
Didn't they stop the Mad magazines?
Do what?
They stopped the Mad magazines?
Yeah.
They quit making them.
Yeah. I got a bunch of those and a bunch of what's called Sick, S-I-C-K. I went to this lady's house. Her boyfriend got killed on a motorcycle accident, and she, I had visited with him before he got killed, and she said, I want to sell all of my boyfriend's comics and stuff. Well, he had heavy metal stuff and all these other things in there too, and she needed a little bit of extra money, so I bought that stuff. Have you ever seen this? It's a reprint of the first edition of Batman.
Ray, you are really killing me with the Batman stuff. I can't take it.
It's wore out, but it's kind of neat. But it's a reprint, and it's in color, and it's volume 1, number 6, 1975.
Wow. Yeah.
And then the Incredible Hulk. I've got a lot of large magazines, large comics, and they're kind of neat, for the person that has eye strain. The words are bigger.
That's the ones I read.
Unless you have some readers.
A long time ago, there was called Comic Shop News. Now, this came out before the Wizard. Or maybe not before the Wizard, maybe in
around that time.
Conjunction, if that's the right word, with the Wizard. So you had a choice to buy a Valiant or Comic Shop News or whatever.
What was coming out.
Yeah, what was coming out. And it was more like a newspaper.
Okay. And there's a question coming at you, Mr. Ray, from Clarence Price.
Do you have any Werewolf by Night?
Hey, Clarence, I hear you're in Philadelphia.
Why not?
Werewolf by Nights. Werewolf by Night.
He's checking. I'm pretty sure he has something.
We'll get out the S's through Z's. There's Thor, X Factor, or Werewolf by Night. You know what? That's going to be in my alphabetical listing, because if you don't have a large run of them, I put them. I got a place to look.
All right, man. So what you gotta do, man, is hit up Capncomics, and he'll hit up Ray, or you can hit me up on the email, and I'll forward everything to Capncomics. And I just wanted to show something to Ray, because I just have to, because I love
Kung Fu.
I love stuff like this, because I'm into the black and white art, and I'm also into a lot of Hispanic characters in comic book. And this is the first appearance of White Tiger, and he's a Puerto Rican like myself, so it's an honor for me to see this book in my collection. This was given to me by a comic book member, so it is truly amazing. I'm just happy to have it, So
my doctor is from Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yep. In fact, when we first met her, she had to type on her computer in Spanish, or Puerto Rico is Spanish, right?
Yes, sir.
She had to type, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she had to type in Spanish, and her computer would tell her English how she could talk to me.
Oh, that's so
really,
cool.
really a good doctor. Okay, Werewolf by Werewolf. It happens to be in the W's. Witchblade. Here's Zen Werewolf. W-A. I hope that he's patient. W-A-R. Warp. I don't have any werewolves.
Yeah, a lot of Moon Knights.
W-A-R-E. Warp. W-A-R.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Like I said, somebody else could have bought them out a couple years back, or somebody else could have showed up and maybe wanted that comic book.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, man. That's what happens. But you know what, guys? We're gonna end the show right now, because we just have to, because I don't usually go this long, but I want to keep on going for hours and hours. But if Ray want to show off a few more books, I'll let him be, man. I can't stop Ray from doing this, man. This is an awesome ride. Go ahead, Ray, man. Do it, brother.
Hey, have you eaten yet?
I ate a little bit.
Yeah, see, we didn't eat yet. Or maybe we did. Did we eat yet? We ate lunch.
Yeah, we had lunch.
Yep, because we wanted to be on your program and to be wide awake.
Okay. You're gonna eat and fall asleep. So I'll probably do the same thing too.
Tell the man in Philadelphia that I don't have any Werewolf by Night.
Clarence, you heard it right now. He does not have it, brother. Sorry, man. He does not have any Werewolf by Night, man. So sorry about that. But you know what?
Do this once a week and just bring out a box that he hasn't even seen in 20 years and just flip through whatever's in there. And that's not even on his computer yet.
That's right. They're just, I put a bunch of boxes in storage in the other room for like $60 a box. And there was like what is there? 125 books in a box, and they haven't been opened up in 20 some years.
This guy asked if he had a Doc Holliday Western
Huh?
comic book.
Kevin
Doc Holliday
Chief is
Western?
asking a question to you, sir.
What?
A Doc Holliday.
Do you have a Doc Holliday Western comic?
Well, he puts these away, and then he pulls it back out, and then he puts it away, and then he brings it back out.
But you know what?
They just jump on the
I
show.
haven't got anything else to do today. Okay, Western.
And there, while you keep looking there, there's another question right now. Hey, every time I want to we're gonna end the show, we keep going on. We may be here for 4 hours. Who knows? Rob Boswell is asking Tales from the Crypt, so you can look for that one too, man.
Oh, I got some Tales from the Crypt. I got those. I want to look up Western for that one man. Huh?
Billy the Kid.
Yeah. Well, see, these are Westerns that are in bad shape. What was the one he won? Doc Holliday?
Yep.
Doc Holliday.
Oh, part of Tombstone stuff. Okay, Westerns. I've got 763 Westerns.
Good Lord.
So if you want to know about Annie Oakley, to Indian, here's Hopalong Cassidy. Doc Holliday.
Like what? The
Here's Butch Cassidy. Just a minute. Cheyenne, the Deputy, Daniel Boone, Flying A Range, Gene Autry, Gun Fury, Gunsmoke, Hex Western, Jonathan Hex. Those are good books. Those are good books. The Jonathan Hex books. Hopalong Cast. Who am I looking for?
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday.
You passed him if we had it.
Have Gun Will Travel. I got those. Boots Bonanza.
And Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt.
Tales
How
from the
about
Crypt.
how about the Durango Kid? And I don't have Gabby Hayes. Okay, what? Tales from the Crypt?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go back to the. I lost my book. I think it's that book. Tales from the Crypt. All right.
Tease.
Oh, those are going to be. I don't have them under that. I have them under Ghost.
Ghost?
Yeah, because.
Come on, Captain. You gotta be like whipping out the books too, man. Help them out.
Oh well, I'm just a lovely assistant.
Here's some Japan magazine, Japan Comics, Appleseed, and Gray Yoshimiya, and First of the North Star. Those are Japanese, though. Let's see. We're looking for Ghost. Ghost has got to be in the G's. This is the I's through. That's the wrong one. E's through H's. You know what? This is a lot of fun. It may sound, there's Devil Dinosaur. Okay.
People like Devil Dinosaur.
Dragon. Huh?
I said people in the community
Elf
like
Quest.
Devil Dinosaur.
Firestorm. 4-color. The Littlest Outlaw. Frankenstein. Ghost. Here we go. Tales from the Crypt, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. What does he? There's Tales from the Crypt.
Oh my God.
All right, Tales from the Crypt. Let me see how early the issue is. Okay, I've got the very first Tales from the Crypt, and it's 1990. Oh, up higher. And then they came out with number ones again in 1991. But I have 3 of 1990s Tales from the Crypt. Yep, I have
number 4.
Number 4.
Okay, 4. I have 1, and it's Find a Near Mint.
Wow.
So, Does that answer that man's question? Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man. He better be a man because it goes by Rob Boswell.
Oh,
And his
that was
picture looks
you?
like that.
Oh, this guy
So-
right here.
Oh, hi, Rob. Boswell. There was a famous guy on TV that was Boswell. He was a movie star. Boswell.
Nice, nice.
You got some Tomb of the Dracula.
Oh, I got Tomb of the Dracula, Tales from the Crypt Vault, Terror, Tomb of Darkness, Unexpected, Weird Worlds, Zombies. Here's a zombie book from 2009.
Yeah, give us a holler if you ever want to do another show, and you know, you want to look through 20-year-old comic books and see what they're like. You know,
All right.
What's my favorite?
Before we
comic
end the
in
show,
collection?
we have to. I want to acknowledge this one question right here. What is your favorite comic in your collection, Ray? Your favorite?
John Wayne #1.
John Wayne #1. How
And
much?
it's worth $300, so it's not very expensive, but that's my favorite because I've always liked John Wayne.
Nice. That is amazing. I have no words, man, for you to hang out with me, with Perry, with Mr. Capncomics. Again, a little tongue tie here because I'm just.
Well,
It's an honor, man. It's a complete honor. I'm only 44, and to hang out with someone with you dropping knowledge on me, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
I want to thank you for having me. This was a fun 1 hour and 56 minutes and 27 seconds.
Oh man. Thanks for acknowledging the seconds too. It keeps on going, Ray. It keeps on going.
Okay.
I was gonna say something, but they made said that. I just forgot. Yo, man. This is epic. I hope we can have Ray on someone else's show and have Captain on the show with him. And
well, I hope that they look at the neck cooler site because that way they can see the inventory. It's real simple to get on it, neckcoolers.net. And if they click on Steve's picture, it'll open up to the comic warehouse that I had built on. Yeah, a different Steve. It'll open up to the comic warehouse that I had them build onto the back of the house here.
That's pretty nice, man.
22 by 12, all shelves.
Wow.
The comic book community has been really good to me, so I wanted to share my favorite Ray with everybody of the community, and just say thank you to Ron and Perry and Jabroni and
the guy in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. If it wasn't for you guys doing these channels, a lot of us wouldn't get the knowledge that we do, So I want to thank you personally, too, for bringing us on.
Yep. And I thank you very much.
And you know what? Like I said, man, it is a complete honor to have someone like you on the show for the first time ever, Ray. I have no words, brother. I really don't.
Well, get a hold of me again if you want. How many hours are you actually on your program?
Oh, he does programs.
I do every Saturday an hour. We did 2 hours tonight. I do a show Sundays for an hour. I do a show Tuesday an hour. But whenever you want to hop on and show off your books and hang out for another hour, man, the invite is open. You could jump on whenever you want, Ray.
Well, thank you very much for the offer. I'll try to come up with something new and exciting. And if any of your listeners out there really do want a book or two, all they have to do is email Steve or email me, and I'll tell them if I have it. You know, I have an Apple computer, and it doesn't do as good of receiving stuff as what it does for blocking things. And so I would rather have somebody actually send me their phone number and let me call them and talk to them over the phone, because I've got a line that I can do that with. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We had some tech issues earlier during the show. Well, before the show, it's a good thing we went like, I think we did like 30 minutes trying to fix things up, and that's why we're using, I believe we're using Steve's phone. And
Yeah.
you know what? It worked out fine, and we'll just push forward to the next one, and we'll get better. And the next thing you know,
Well, I
Ray,
kinda hoped that this time too, I could take you around and give you a tour of his house. And
yeah, that was the cool thing about it, the whole tour. So it worked out better.
I just needed to back up a little bit, because I did comb my hair before I got on this program so that I'd look proper. Oh, hey, you know what? I thought about that kind of a hairdo.
Well, what's wrong with it, Ray?
Nothing. You know, we had a son that unfortunately he passed away with leukemia, okay? But when Jeremy was younger, I said to him, because he had lost his hair through chemotherapy, I said, Jeremy, what does it feel like when you have the shower hit you on top of the head? He thought for a minute and he says, feels the same if it hits your butt. He had such a good humor for such a suffering kid. So just thought I'd throw that in.
No, that's fine though. It's a cool thing that the humor, you remember that, and that's a cool thing about it. And that's what it's all about, hanging out on the show too, because we like comics, we love humor, and we love to joke around, and we take a lot of stress off our shoulders, especially myself. And once again, I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, especially our guest right now, Mr. Ray, the legend, the myth, with 82 years young, preserving comic books and hanging out with Capncomics. And like Perry says at the end of the videos he does on his edit videos. And you say it, Mr. Ray. How would you like to end the show?
Well, I think it's time for me to take a nap.
No, besides that, you know how you do it. You don't do what? You don't do what?
Well, I don't even read comics in the past, but I'm
There it
reading
is.
some of them
That's
now.
it.